Warning. The following podcast contains explicit language, honest opinions and a sense of humor. Welcome to the Brothers Take.
Hello everyone and welcome back to our podcast. I'm Chris, joined by my brothers Adam.
Hello.
And Eric.
Hello.
We're back in the room once again to talk more about video games. And in this end of year special, we're looking back on our highlights for 2020 gaming and possibly otherwise, but our main focus would be our 2020 highlights for gaming. What a year, 2020. What a blast.
Hey, great year for gamers.
Great year for gamers.
Shit year for
year for
socialites.
reality.
I don't know. There's some even for gamers, there's some really shit stuff happened this year too.
Yeah. And there's some really weird shit going on that I've never seen before.
Yeah.
What the hell? Anyway, we can get to all that later, maybe. But it's also been a fantastic year, and we have talked about many of the games that came out this year. In terms of quality, we've been spoiled a little bit. Quality, and quantum dream. The three Qs of gaming. But anyway, so we're going to talk about we've probably said it already, our favorite games this year, but we'll briefly state it for the record after the music has started, and then we'll go into other topics such as our favorite gaming moments this year, our favorite gaming studio this year, and other things we'd like to highlight that really stood out to us in the year. That's not specifically just a whole game, but some of the smaller, minute details or some of the things that really excited us this year, as we end it and move on to the next year. If you are watching us on YouTube, you can jump in on this conversation, of course, by jumping into the comments below to let us know what some of your 2020 gaming highlights or non-gaming highlights were, whether it's movies, TV shows, music, or whatever it was that you were exposed to in 2020. If you're listening to us on audio platforms, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and whatever else you're listening to, you can get in touch with social media, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at The Brothers Take, again, to let us know your 2020 highlights. So without further ado, let's talk 2020. It sucked. It fucking sucked. I don't know. I think we've all had gas year.
It's great like that the end of every year, because 20, I don't know if it was worldwide felt it, but 2018 it was 2019 I thought fucking hell, I can't wait for this year to end. And looking forward to the next year, and then 2020 comes along. It's just hold my beer.
Yeah.
I just hope that 21. Yeah.
No, 21.
It's not likely. 21's likely.
A meteor is going to hit, and we're going to be having a nuclear fucking fallout or something.
Well, the thing is,
fucking Cthulhu awakens.
I feel like at this point, yeah, Cthulhu rises from the ocean.
Well, sorry.
Sorry. The same part. But I think you're right. At the end of every year, you do go, oh well, hopefully next year will be better. I think this time we're actually better prepared. We already know we're going into kind of a shit year, because we're well, it's the vaccine's not ready. There's gonna be more lockdowns. There's gonna be more economic bullshit for a while.
Yeah, I think a few countries are going into lockdown to now, pretty much, and I think we're in talks for going to lockdown shortly.
Straight after Christmas, we are. Yeah. So we already kind of know we're in for another one. So I think we're better prepared this time for But it's funny because I was writing on Christmas cards this year for people. And,
you have a lovely Christmas.
It's your usual message is wishing you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. I found myself writing, wishing you a Merry Christmas and a way better New Year. It's 2020. It's last time when I wished you a New Year, I jinxed it.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Before we talk about our 2020 highlights, do you think we'll be like back to normal by summer 2021? Or was that be
hope.
too
It's
optimistic?
the
That's the
hope.
hope. Isn't
But
it?
yeah, I don't know.
Hard to say.
It is hard to say.
I mean, back
The
in March,
class, like.
That
back in
vaccine
March,
though is making its rounds though. It is being being put out like so.
yeah, I think
Um,
the UK have gone with a different one to the one that.
We're going with Pfizer, and then UK has to go with something else because Germany is like, ha, you
Oh, yeah,
left.
you can't have
You're
it?
not allowed
Yeah,
to have
that's
it.
a bit weird, isn't it?
The EU
Like, I
are
know-
distributing in 27 countries on the same date, all at once, which is pretty impressive.
Mhm.
So yeah, but I suppose it's gonna be a long process of everyone actually getting
They've
it.
already tested, and it was funny actually. There was like a TV host or some celebrity person. Like I can't remember who it was, but they went to get the vaccine, but they always faint at needles. They can't help it. Every needle they'll faint.
Yeah,
So
I know.
they did get the injection, they fainted, and then like there's people in comments going, "Oh no, the vaccine doesn't work. It makes
Oh.
you faint." It's just all that shit. Like it's like,
Ian McKellen got it.
good
Yeah.
man. He's gonna
Yeah,
live
man.
forever. Hopefully, I jinxed it now. He's gonna die, isn't he?
So that's 2021 is gonna fucking suck because we're gonna lose Ian McKellen or something. That would be awful. I'd hate that. I not. Do you ever feel that way? It's like because certain obviously, actors or musicians or anyone you look up to, at some point, much like family members, we're going to lose them. And do you ever look at the ones who are very old and go, I'm really worried because like it's not that it's way off. You ever get like that?
Yeah, like the
Yeah.
minute celebrities started to die, I was a bit like, shit, their immortality is gone. They don't have like the blood of Icar anymore.
Yeah, it's
We're losing
like
gods.
like Christopher Lee shocked the hell out of me, but then if you look back and think about it, it's like it shouldn't have really.
Yeah,
He was a very old man and he had
Yeah,
done a lot.
Christopher Lee didn't shock me. It was obviously shit to see him go.
Yeah.
What did shock me just because I would kind of not follow Christopher Lee obviously because I don't think he was on social media, but at least be very aware of like watching him talk and things like that. Ian Holm surprised me.
Oh,
Yes.
man.
That I didn't.
Yeah.
I was just wasn't aware of how quickly
Old
he
he was,
deteriorated.
Yeah.
And actually,
That was
Sean
this
Connery.
year, wasn't it? Yeah, they're about
shocked
this
me.
year.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sean Connery did as well.
I
think
just
it's like
really
if you don't
wasn't-
hear from them for a while, you kind of assume everything's okay as well. You could just kind of go, oh yeah, there's probably a movie coming down the
must
pipeline,
be
But
living the life and then
yeah,
Wait,
then not.
did Chadwick Boseman die this year or last year?
that was this year. Yeah, that was
That,
really.
that
shocking.
was really. I did not realize.
Yeah.
Fair play to the man. He was fighting cancer for like
During
every film he
filming.
made.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's made a few as well. So there are a few going to come out with him in it.
Yeah.
Nuts.
Fair play to him, like Jesus.
They're they're going ahead with Black Panther 2. They have like a date for it and stuff. So I am curious as to
I assume it's his sister.
what they're going to do there.
Like the
I
character.
don't know.
Doesn't doesn't she become one in the comics?
I feel like they're going to pass it on to her, but they still need to do something with that
Transition
character,
it.
right? A transition.
Well, they might
So-
CGI him, right? Like the way they've been
Like
doing
they
with
might.
certain like Leia
Yeah.
and stuff like that.
Yeah, they might.
And I imagine their CGI has come quite a long way since.
Yeah.
As long as
Crazy.
it doesn't look like Black
I
Panther
actually
1.
love that. His name was one of the tributes at the end of Spider-Man Miles
Spider-Man.
Morales.
Yeah.
I thought that was really cool. I thought it was like a really nice touch
Yeah, it was
to do
good.
that. And as
I
well,
was
there's
actually expecting more. I was expecting more of a kind of a reference in the game, but perhaps
there's a
the
street
game
named after him.
is that actually named after him, or is that genuinely a street called that though?
No. It's named after him.
Definitely.
Yeah. Which
I did come across the Stan
good.
Lee statue. All right.
Oh yeah, cool, yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, now that we're on the topic of games that came out this year,
Yeah.
that being one of them, let's first of all state it for the record in case anyone has missed any of the last few episodes or it might be their first time hearing us. Which the big one is, what was our favorite game 2020? So Erica, come to you first.
That would be Ghost of Tsushima, cause
Yeah.
that blew me away from the minute it started to the minute it ended. I absolutely loved the shit out of that game. Everything. I'm pretty sure the first time we talked about it, I was like, haikus, amazing. Taking a bath in the wild, fantastic. Like that was the shit that like just really got me excited. Was like just doing like
Just
the
mundane
ordinary,
stuff.
yeah, just ordinary samurai stuff. Like, oh, I'm a samurai. I'm
If
gonna
only
cut
you
some
could
logs.
make tea and work in the rice paddies, that would be fucking.
That'd be
Mwah.
that'd be Sims perfected. Sims
Yeah.
feudal Japan class working.
So if only I could feel like my hands are really being worked to the bone here.
Ooh, I wonder what that'd be like on PS5.
Have your hands worked to the bone.
No, but just like when you're drawing the sword.
Have you not
like,
played it
have
yet on PS5?
No, I haven't actually. I've been busy with Demon Souls.
What is
PS5.
wrong with you? Get that in there. It did get a slight update where it doesn't really take on. I don't think it takes on any of the kind of PS5 kind of features and stuff like that, but it does play at like a locked 60 FPS. So it's really smooth gameplay.
I'm pretty sure games that play at 60 frames per second like bloodshot my eyes, because after I was playing Demons, or it could just be the fact that I played
I don't think Demon Souls is
2
60.
days. Is it not?
No, I think that's 30.
That is just playing games 2 days straight in a row.
Yeah, definitely.
Could do it.
You're just not blinking. It's like you're like Clockwork Orange. Just
You're not blinking and you're constantly being killed.
that's what happens when you see you died 20 million times.
Yeah. How hard is it?
Not that bad.
Really?
Yeah, it's actually I prefer it to Bloodborne and Dark Souls because I actually know what's going on in the game. The game actually has a very structured, well, not a structured story. You have to go all over the fucking place. I had to look up what order do you play the game in because I was a bit like, this bit seems a little hard, and then it's like, no, you're not supposed to do that area first. You have to do this area.
Oh, it's gated. Level gated.
Yeah, no, it's kind of so you have like these 5 archstones in your nexus, and you have to do the first one. But then all the others you can kind of do in whatever order you want, but there is actually a specific order. What would be the easiest way to do it?
All right, so it's just about you trying to figure out what's the best order to do it in.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, the story is actually
that kind of reminds me of remember Final Fantasy X-2 when you get to choose locations you go to.
Oh yeah.
And if you go to Xanarkand too early, like you get absolutely destroyed.
Yes. Yeah.
That
I remember
took me
that.
ages to figure out.
It's like, I want to go there.
Yeah. It's like
Why are these enemies hard?
This is where the story is.
Is Demon Souls then your favorite Souls game so far that you've played? Like that style.
I played
is what they call it.
Sekiro, Bloodborne, Dark Souls 3, and Demon Souls, and yeah, this because Blue Point did a fantastic job with it.
Yeah. I hope that rumor is true. I hope the rumor of them making Metal Gear Solid is true.
Ooh, that would be nice. Yeah, because they did a really good job.
Just because, like, it is. Not only did it look great, but I've heard people say it's very faithful. Like Demon Souls, it's like it still plays like.
Yeah, for some that's been a complaint because they're so used to the kind of advancements, the what they call it, the like kind of quality of life improvements that you get in games from the other ones. But this one has done away with all of them to be way more faithful to the original. So
yeah, I'm cool with that.
Supposedly, it's very brutal in terms of how far back you have to start again if you die.
Is that true, Eric?
Oh, are we talking about Demon Souls?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought we were talking about Metal Gear Solid. I mean, yeah, there's very few checkpoints.
Okay, yeah.
It's like so you get one at the start of the area, and then if you want another one, you have to kill the boss.
Okay, wow, fucking hell. So it's like it is dungeon by dungeon nearly.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Cool.
Whereas I think isn't the newer ones, they're not as brutal as that.
They will have checkpoints along the way building up to the bosses. Yeah.
So for some, that's been a complaint because they're used to the newer ones.
Yeah.
But I like their approach here to be faithful to the original.
Like, because if it turns out that they're making Metal Gear Solid, it's like, oh, do I have to call Mailing to save? Please tell me I have to call Mailing to save. I want to call Mailing to save.
Are they going to do then the look top down then as well?
Well, it hasn't been confirmed yet. Nothing's been.
No,
confirmed.
but
I imagine they wouldn't.
No, I don't think they would do that.
I'd say it'll be like over shoulder
shit then.
shooting.
I want to be that I don't know where I'm aiming and I'm just going ah. Just
But they
firing
would
any
have to
direction,
change
hoping
up
it
quite.
hits
They would have to change up quite a bit. Like they would have to add like more enemies in a location, and put a larger emphasis on stealth. I imagine,
Yeah,
which
yeah,
would be really
definitely.
cool.
You have to
Kind of like
get
the Last of Us in that way. Like
Yeah.
much more patrolling going on, and you actually have to keep moving and to stay in cover and stuff.
I would actually think taking a page out of Last of Us book is not a bad idea. Because like The Last of Us probably took a page out of Metal Gear Solid's book, originally. So
Yeah.
these things go hand in hand. It's like developments of the stealth genre.
Mm-hmm.
So that wouldn't dissuade me at all. I'd be like, oh, cool, that sounds good.
That'd be a good improvement.
Yeah.
More so than like the Twin Snakes, although I really enjoyed playing it, took a much more action approach as opposed to a stealth approach. But I would prefer much more stealth, I think.
I would as well for this one. Plus, we already have the Twin Snakes as a remake of it, and it's a different vibe. I love the Twin Snakes. I think it's great crack.
It's a John Woo kind of approach, isn't it?
But it's a great way to experience that story if you find that the PS1 is just too chalky, too blocky for you.
Right.
It is a great way to experience the story. Like it's accessible and easy to play. But yes, I don't want this one to be like that one, but just better graphics again, where it's like a remake of Twin Snakes nearly. Like I would like a different approach to it. Adam, what was your favorite game of 2020?
I think it was Final 7 remake for me.
You think?
I think so.
Don't know.
Well, I enjoyed quite a lot this year.
Between that, Bug Snacks.
I got Bug Snacks was good. Animal Crossing. No, I quite liked Doom Eternal. I haven't cleared it, but the gameplay I just loved so much. Obviously, I prefer FF7 over that, but Ghost of Tsushima was a surprise. That was a really, really enjoyable game. But I think for me, it took quite a bit for the story to get really good in Ghost. So, FF7 remake. It's just fucking hell. I loved every moment of it, and there wasn't a single moment I was disappointed with, like at all.
None?
Because like some people were kind of disappointed by the ending, and it's like I wasn't. I absolutely loved it. Some people really hated the Honeybee Inn, and I was like, don't give a fuck, I'm all in on this. Some people really hated Roach, and I'm like, I don't give a fuck, I'm all in on this. Like I just loved everything about that game.
Wow.
I think at first I did not like the ending because I was like, this is not a remake. I'm pissy about it.
Yeah.
But then no, like I think when Chris was saying that like now they can do whatever they want, it's like actually yeah, that is true. So that does kind of make it more intriguing that now they can do whatever they want. And
I loved it, Joe, because I was
chapter 4 to chapter 7 are fucking boring as fuck.
They're amazing,
it makes
and you watch
really
that mess.
hard. It makes it really hard to because I want to play the whole game from beginning to end because the beginning is so good.
Yeah,
beginning is amazing.
And from chapter 8 onwards, it's so good. But it's just 4 to 7 are just so boringly shit.
They're not. They're amazing.
They are.
All I want to do is just pick flowers with Aerith.
No. Chapter 8 is good, which is when Aerith is introduced.
So when's 4 again? I'm after getting them mixed up.
4 is when Roach is introduced and you find out about Jesse's background and everything.
Oh yeah, that's great. That's amazing.
I don't know. It just
you get that bike chase mission.
Yeah,
you can skip it though.
Jesse's backstory about being from be an actress on the Gold Saucer is amazing.
That is so good.
The only good thing about it, but when you've experienced it the first time, it's kind of like okay, well now I've seen it. Like the only thing's kind of.
But that's like the rest of the game. You've seen it.
No, but some moments are just.
But with the end, I was because I guess when I was playing it, I was like, I know where this is going to end because it logically makes sense to end it when they leave Midgar, basically, like the end of Midgar, and I was just thinking about.
I did have hopes though.
Well, I was just like,
I had hope. I was like, could you imagine?
I know how it ends and whatever. But I was like, it would just be so wonderful to have a fucking badass like Advent Children style fight against Sephiroth. And I know it's not going to happen, but it would be so amazing. And then it happened, and I'm like, what? That's the best thing ever. I just couldn't believe it. I lost so much to that fight because I couldn't concentrate because I was so excited. You know, I was just blown away by it. Couldn't believe it. Love
They
it.
played that fucking amazing rendition of the fucking, is it the theme from the Forgotten Capital?
Yeah. I'll just
When he talks
like-
cryptically and you're just like, what the fuck?
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like the cinematics now were great. All the characters were done fucking beautifully.
I just can't wait to see what they
Just-
do
just-
with him in terms of like this. Was it safer Sephiroth and stuff like that?
Yeah.
Because-
Oh yeah.
because
Like, how's that all gonna work?
Here they've portrayed him to be an absolute god, and now they have to go even further with that imagery, like way
Yeah.
further. It's going to get insane.
He's
Yeah.
gonna have 8 wings instead of 6.
Maybe.
Yeah, he might. 25 wings. Final Fantasy VII Remake was also my favorite game of 2020, followed closely by Ghost of Tsushima. If it was like 2, it's those 2.
Mm-hmm.
Ghost of Tsushima was of all the of the games that like. I didn't think I'd like Ghost of Tsushima as much as I did. I knew I was interested in it, and I knew it looked cool,
Mhm.
but I did not think it was going to be as good as it actually is. And it was probably the biggest surprise this year. Like, it was just, it blew me away with what they did, and it got better and better. And that doesn't always happen, where a game gets better and better the more you play it. Sometimes,
Yeah.
like, all the good stuff is at the front, and then you're just invested enough that you want to finish it. They actually they actually paced themselves. They went, hey, we should put this in. Hold up. We'll build up to it. Don't worry. We'll build up to it. We'll introduce a ghost dance when they're like 30 hours in. Yeah. You know, it's like, we'll like really, it was just, so good. I love that shit.
That's
but
one of
7
those games I think as well. Ghost of Tsushima is one of those games that I think doesn't look as, it plays better than it looks, right? Because I remember
All right,
when you got it, I saw the start of it, and I was like, I don't know if I. It's not as enjoyable to watch someone play, but when you are in control of the character, it's just so enjoyable.
It makes you feel like a samurai.
As well,
You feel like a katana.
I think if you just watch the start, if you watch someone play the start, it does look like, and I'm not trying to bash, but it does look like an Assassin's Creed game.
Yeah.
And for some people, that might be exactly what they were hoping for. And then the good news is there is elements of that, and it's I would argue better than any Assassin's Creed game that's ever been made. But if you're not looking for that, there is also enough different about it that it does. It's not an Assassin's Creed copy. It is definitely its own identity and its own thing.
Yeah.
So it's they just pulled off something amazing with it. But 7 remake, guys, come on.
What a game!
Won
What a game.
an award at the Game Awards, huh?
It won 2, I think.
Did it?
Best RPG
Yeah,
and best score.
Best RPG and best
Oh.
score. That's pretty.
I
happy
love
with.
that. One of my like favorite moments in that game is like, you know, when you're like doing the bit with the the kids, they have the little hideout area.
Ah, yeah.
It's, and what makes that section for me is just that rendition of the tune at that point,
Mhm.
Yeah.
the Final Fantasy tune. It's just the score is the star of the show. Like,
Yeah, it's amazing.
it's
It's amazing from start to finish.
yeah.
It's incredible.
Yeah.
It's I bought it. I bought the score on its own. It's just
Yeah.
it's incredible. It's so good.
Yeah. I think
Yeah.
like hanging out with Aerith like made my day, because I think again, even the first time I was playing it, like going through the train tracks went on for so long, and then going underneath the plates went on for so long that I was getting a bit bored. Chapter 7 was really boring for me, but fighting Airbuster was great. And then it was seeing Aerith, seeing the church, the flowers, the music kicks in. When Reno comes in, then you got that music, and just going through the Sector 5 slums to get to the town. All of that was like, this is fantastic. And just the interactions between Cloud and Aerith, like Aerith's little kind of not snarky, kind of, what's the
It's got
term
a
around
kind of
the-
a tongue-in-cheek kind of
yeah,
vibe to it.
she has like real tongue. Yeah, I thought it was just put such a smile on my face. I was like, I don't want this to end. I
Yeah.
just want to hang out with her for like a whole
And
day. That'd be
sometimes
great.
that's it, isn't it? Like the combat is amazing in it, but sometimes just the smaller moments are some of the finer moments even in the game. Speaking of moments,
Oh.
what do you think was your favorite gaming moment this year? Or you can list off a couple if you want to come to mind. But Eric.
Okay. So I'll start with Ghost of Tsushima, and it would probably be when you do get Ghost Dance, because I wasn't expecting.
Yeah,
because I was thinking to myself, wouldn't it be cool? Like I think when Adam was talking about wouldn't it be cool to fight Sephiroth with in Advent Children like style, and then half of her. So for me, it's a bit like this game kind of feels like it needs a sort of hit multiple enemies at once thing, because it just feels like that's the expert thing now. If you're an expert character, Batman had his fear takedowns. Sam Fisher has his mark and execute.
Yeah.
John Marston and Arthur Morgan had their Deadeye. It just feels like if you're like an expert at something, you have that sort of multiple takedown. And then just that bit when you have that siege, and I thought the siege was great. And then you get the ghost dance, and you're just like, oh yeah, and you just like. And it's all black and white and stuff like that.
It's so stylistic as well. It's so cool.
That's a great
I mean, I probably could name several moments from Ghost of Tsushima that were great. Like when you poison everybody.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
When, spoiler alert, Taka dies.
Yeah. What the fuck? Yeah. It went
Those good
to. There was some emotional depths in the game that I wasn't expecting at all.
And spoiler alert again.
Jesus, who's
fighting,
ruined the game on you?
The end, the very end, actually. So I won't spoil it actually because
the final fight.
Good. That final fight is really
good.
But,
it's really good.
But the moment that really got me for 2020 is from Final Fantasy VII.
Yeah.
And it's again when you're with Aerith and you turn that corner and you see her house and her music plays. Oh, it's getting me wild up again. So beautiful. So good.
It is wonderfully done. It's beautiful. The minute you see it and the music starts playing and it's like a piano rendition and you can see the water.
Play this, I think, get me.
And as well, but like you can see, it's like it's so beautiful, and you're like, this is what
I'm fighting for.
The world is missing. Yeah, it's the Shire. It's like Earth, just like simple plants and the planet, and it's what Barrett's fighting for. This is what Shinra is killing. This place is like the last example of what Midgar and the surrounding area used to look like. Yeah, it's amazing.
It's quite this the message and story of the game. Not I imagine the writers probably didn't have any kind of political message involved in it, but it's kind of an age-old tale. There's always, I think that story is always going to exist, whether it's turning into an industrial revolution or the burning of oil or the deforestation or whatever. Like that message always seems to be like prevalent as years go on. It's like the destroying of the world for the improvement of industry.
Well, the only thing is, like, as strong as it is in 7 Remake, I don't think they stress it as strongly as they did in the original. And in the original, yes. But in the original, even that Midgar section.
You don't think so?
No, I don't think so. It's so strong and it's so dark and it's so gloomy, and just that message of like it's plain and simple. It's like we're killing the planet. If we kill the planet, we're gonna die too. So
I guess it's
stop and think about.
I think that could be one little gripe I would have with it if I was to have one, is Barrett's delivery of that section. It was probably played for comedic purpose nearly.
It's slightly bombastic.
Both Cloud and Jesse are a bit like, whatever, which would be Cloud's reaction, but it wasn't to what he was saying, but how he was saying it, I think.
Yeah.
So you can't really take his message seriously.
But I do like that they portrayed, apparently there's like Avalanche is a big organization and Barrett is an extremist who was communicated from Avalanche. Like that's a really good little like take on the character.
Definitely, considering his backstory, etc.
Yeah, if you know all that as well, like there is. That's the thing. That game is better if you know the lore. It is much better if you know the original.
But I think it's all going to come to surface as well.
Oh,
like
will, of course it
for
will.
the other ones. Yeah.
But it's just that you notice the subtle nuances and the little things that they're doing, and you're like,
Yeah.
oh my god, that is a reference to what I know.
Much like
that's really good.
Much like which would be one of my favorite gaming moments of 2020, Astro's Playroom.
Yes.
That game is very enjoyable, but way better if
When
you're a PlayStation fan.
Yes.
Yeah.
If you
100%.
know PlayStation's history, the shitty peripherals they had over the years, all the different games that existed on the platform, the changing of their logo, the fucking T-Rex tech demo. Like I had,
yeah.
I was like showing a friend the game, and we went through the whole thing,
Yeah.
and they didn't even recognize the T-Rex demo because when they had the PS1 in their childhood, they had it at a later stage where you didn't get the tech demo with it.
Right. Yeah.
They never experienced the T-Rex, so that was a piece of history like I kind of told them about. But that's how in depth that fucking built-in demo is. Essentially, this playroom is like it's well deep in PlayStation history.
It's a virtual museum for PlayStation, like a virtual fun museum.
But the fact that it's built into it and comes free with the PS5, like already installed on it, and it's one of the best PS5 games out there so far. You know what I mean? Like it's fantastic.
I was really, really impressed. It's the interactions with the DualSense is what I think. Like feeling the rain on the controller, and the triggers as well. Like when you pull the fucking like the claw machine and you crush the little balls to get the collectibles.
Yeah.
The pressure on the actual trigger to actually crush it, like that's so impressive. Like it just puts a smile on your face when you play it. What a great moment.
Yeah, I would agree. Like, if say we were doing like a top 3 or top 5, whatever gaming moments this year, Astro's Playroom would be up there for me.
Sure. Well, yeah, it's
Eric saw me play it for the first time. I was like an absolute child, just giggling and losing my mind every time it showed me a new feature with the controller. I was like, I can't believe this, and it went hand in hand with like it was just the perfect way to the perfect first thing to do with your new console, because you had this new console and this game that blows your mind as well. I was just like, I can't believe I have this. Like this is just.
The bit you really lost to that was when you had to blow on the microphone.
Oh my god. Which I know, that's probably like one of the easier things that it's able to pull off.
Yeah.
But there was just such a connection between, me, the controller, and the screen, and it happening in sync and stuff that it just, there was no delay or anything like that. It was instantaneous, and it was amazing. Even as well, when you collect one of the little consoles or collectibles that you get, and then it's the controller in your hand, and if you just move the controller around, it moves as well. And for a second, it felt like I was holding a PlayStation in my hand. Like it's so weird, but they just nailed something in terms of sensation.
It's a good moment. It wouldn't be my favorite moment of 2020, but it's definitely up there.
I think my favorite moment of 2020 gaming is, and even though other experiences might have been more fun or more epic or whatever, but just the one that had the biggest emotional reaction from me is my first time seeing the Final Fantasy VII remake opening.
I knew you were gonna say that.
Mine is the logo. The minute the logo comes down,
I just couldn't believe it.
Lost shit.
I was just like, this is. I remember Ash looking at me going, "Are you gonna cry?" And I was like, just leave me alone for a second. You don't know.
Good.
You don't know what this means.
Good thing she wasn't with me then, but I was playing it.
But yeah.
I was.
So long,
it's the way the orchestra swells at that moment for me. Like, and then the moment the logo hits in, like that's such a good.
Oh my god.
We have to play this again.
You know what it was for me is when it kicked up there. It's not that like if anyone thinks that the logo is the best part of the game. I'm not saying that at all. But that moment sealed the deal for me that this is real. This is happening, and I am actually playing it. And they have remade, and then you can get into
And it's good.
a whole conversation about what it actually is and whether remake is slightly misleading or whatnot. But they really did it. They really redid these characters, and the fucking combat. Oh my god, could talk about it forever. But anyway, so those are some of our
I guess
favorite
it's because
games.
we've been waiting for it for so long.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like if you've been waiting for something like that for as long as we have, like it does have that feeling. Like people are that excited, I guess, like for like even the next Marvel or the next Star Wars. And it's like, and we had to wait longer than that,
And it's great that it is amazing, based on like we've seen what happens when like a company is like waiting really long to bring out something, and then when it doesn't deliver, how really pissed off everyone can be about that.
Yeah, that's true. We
Yeah.
have seen.
So we were quite lucky that Final Fantasy 7 did well.
Yeah.
And there was controversy around it for sure. The ending was
There is bugs.
There are issues, but the pros far outweigh the cons, I feel, on that game. There was a category that I actually saw listed around on other sites that wasn't in the Game Awards that I'd love to see what you guys think. And it was Gaming Studio of the Year. Like, you know the way, like, because they give an award for Best Director, Best Narrative, Best Score, which are different aspects and people who worked on it. Best Studio, I actually think that's one that should have been acknowledged. It's actually a very good, I think if a studio overall worked really hard on something or delivered really well on something, I feel like they should be commended for it. And so if that was a category at the Game Awards, who do you think, who do you feel deserves to be the best game?
I feel like they would give it to Naughty Dog anyway.
No, but we don't even have to think about what would critics do this time. This is just who do you actually feel was the best gaming studio 2020?
I mean, again, I'd probably give it to Sucker Punch.
Yeah, probably Sucker Punch.
I'd agree 100%. Sucker Punch, definitely.
I mean, and then even
that free multiplayer,
yeah,
on top of what was already a complete, perfectly made, fucking like barely any. I never had a drop in. Well, I barely ever had a drop in frame rate, and I don't think I experienced bugs. I know some people did, which is not unusual in an open world game. But for an open world game, and on launch, this game performed spectacularly.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the updates that it gets is really good. So the latest one.
Yeah, really good. Like I feel like they
really
just
good.
really looked after.
What's its latest one?
You can get 4 kind of 4 unlockable costumes, right? But are they just for Legends or is it for?
I don't know, but they're themed.
They're themed,
I think they are just for Legends.
So they would be like a set of armor. Did you ever get the Sly Cooper armor set? In the game?
No.
No? Okay.
Oh,
So it's like so you'd have the samurai armor but with like blue cloth underneath.
Okay.
And you would have the katana where the saya, the kind of the sheath would look like the kind of raccoon tail.
All right.
And then you have like a mask going across like a bandana kind of mask. So that's like that set would like kind of represent the Sly Cooper set, right?
Yeah.
Right.
So now they have one where it represents the character. There's a God of War style armor set.
Okay.
Yeah.
A Horizon Zero Dawn kind of archery set.
Yeah.
There's a Shadow of the Colossus looking
Assassin
kind of armor set.
And then there's a
yeah.
Bloodborne inspired Ronin set.
Yeah.
They're definitely
for
legends
Legends,
then.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay,
But they're
that's class.
they are cool. And
It's cool to kind of get that. Like
that's another free update.
Yeah, they're free. Like any other company would charge for this shit.
Yeah, and the thing is, I think it's a real statement against the whole games as a service thing. They're like, we are against that whole mantra. We are making a game, we're making a full game, and people who buy it are going to be rewarded for buying our game.
And it would encourage people to buy it if they hadn't already. Because
Oh,
they're like,
God,
oh, look
yeah.
at
You're
all
getting
this
more and
free
more
shit
stuff.
they get.
Yeah.
I
Like,
can see them. I
amazing.
can see them coming out with another kind of DLC and charging at some point.
But that would be
But
so.
every- but
Then you
everyone would
know,
pay.
just because of the stuff that you've been getting for free, that's going to be a substantial, like, content to pay for. It'll be
Yeah.
worth paying for.
Yeah,
I-
I mean, this
yeah.
this game is the Witcher 3 of 2020.
In a way, I think you're right. Yeah, I think you're right. In that same way as when, during The Witcher 3's time, CD Projekt Red, were obviously commended for the way they handled that game, the things they put out.
Yeah.
It obviously got them a huge reputation as a trusted company.
Yeah.
Change.
Apparently,
I like
apparently
studio-
it works fine on PS5 and Xbox Series X.
Doesn't. I like the studio as well that did Among Us.
Ah? Oh, Among
Oh,
Us.
yeah.
Yeah.
Because like they were like obviously they made that game was like 2018 or something like that when they released it,
Something like that,
Yeah.
and they were about to release the second one, and then once this blew up, they were like, okay, no, let's keep adding stuff. So they've released a new map for Among Us,
Yeah.
new play area and stuff like that, and
And I feel like everyone,
January,
like,
something like that.
whether you're into games or not, like everyone was just playing Among Us. Like during this, everyone was.
it's a fun spectator sport.
It is, yeah.
I like
But
watching people play it.
the real fun aspect. I mean, it's the thing, isn't it? It's like it's small and cartoon and animated, but in concept, it's the thing.
Yeah.
And someone is the thing, and then you're trying to figure out who the thing is amongst the crew. Like that's.
Yeah.
I'm a very good imposter.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. 'Cause I think I did one game like 2 nights ago, and my teammate like left at the start of the game, so I was on my own and still won. I'm like, yeah.
What was I just curious? Can you remember like what was your funniest gaming moment this year?
Oh, Honeybee Inn.
Really?
Oh, it's hilarious because it's just so Japanese. I love this.
That's probably the one part of the game I hate. I hate it.
I pissed myself
hate
laughing
it.
at it because I was like, oh, here we are with this. This is ridiculous.
Because I personally felt like it didn't really go one way or the other. Like I feel like it didn't commit to like it's like either embrace the fact that you're trying to send a social message and it's like a good thing or something, or go full on we're totally taking the piss. It felt like it was dipping its toe in both
Both of
ponds,
them.
but not fully committing to doing one of them. And I
Yeah.
feel like you just fucking go for it, will you? It's a game. Just go for
Or-
it. One or the other. Do it.
Actually, another funny game moment was when Chris figured out he had to blow into the microphone. That was hilarious.
Yeah, it's just Playroom made me laugh fucking loads. I think as well, I had great fun playing, which is not a 2020 game, but I was playing it in 2020 at the very start of the year. Playing Resi 2,
Oh yeah.
and Eric being my guide. I'm like, okay, so Mr. X is gone now? It's like, yeah, he's gone, he's fine. Just open that door. It's like, yeah, okay, here I go. I'm opening the door. Yeah, just do it quickly though. No, yeah, why? Just do it quickly. Will you please do it quickly? He's like, I'm trying to do it quickly. He's like, Chris, just do it quickly. And it turns out Mr. X is walking behind me like the whole time. And it's a whole moment where you have to like escape him as he chases you. And I'm like, you fucker, he's still here. It's like, yeah, he's still here. Just fucking go. And as soon as I got out, I was like, okay, so that's the last time. You're like, yeah, sure, that's the last time for now. It's like, I want to know, am I free of him or not? It's like, yeah, at the moment.
Yeah, just hurry up to the door, Chris, and then Mr. X won't get you. Oh yeah, actually, speaking of Mr. X, now it's not really funny, but it's just because I played Resident Evil 3 this year.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
the harder-
Jesus.
if you make that game harder, Nemesis gets faster. To the point of when I was playing,
Already fast enough.
I know, but at the point of I was playing Inferno, which is the hardest difficulty and is just ridiculous. I kind of turned back just to kind of shoot at Nemesis. But when he was running at me, because they made him faster, it just looks like as if they turned him on like a 4 times multiplayer. So he's kind of Like it just kind of doesn't really look like he's moving. It just looks like he's skipping along the road. And it's just like,
That's
what the
silly.
fuck?
I was stressed watching Eric play that. That was. Adam, do you have a funniest gaming moment? And then maybe we'll go on to scariest gaming moment since we brought up the Resident Evil games.
I think Fall Guys was probably my.
Oh yeah.
Like, I just had such a good blast with that. Like that was so funny watching people because there's a knack to it, I think, and it takes a while for people to get that. They're like, I press jump, and they're getting fucking flung around the map, like, and there's so many times I nearly got that crown as well, and just the kind of rage quitting side of it is kind of funny as well.
Yeah.
And it's fun watching people play it.
It is. It's good crack. I remember, like, yeah, it's just a good laugh. There's something funny about fucking trying to do something that's really hard to do, but there's like there's a funny element to it. It's not just like I'm punishing you. It's just like this is ridiculous.
But if it should be simple as well, like if the concept is simple,
the concept is simple, but it's actually hard to pull off.
it's just a timing thing.
Yeah. It's got that, and actually I played earlier this year as well, which it is a last year game, but the Untitled Goose game. That was fucking funny. That's
co-op now.
Someone has played that. What do you play as? I was about to say two goose, but it's geese, right? You play as two geese.
Two goose.
There's two goose about this house. And what did they just go around stealing people's hats and shit?
Yeah, you do the activities together. Yeah.
Wow. Yes.
Unless there's new, I haven't played it. I just know that that's a mode, but maybe there's new tasks or something. I don't know.
I'd say there would be that involves two, like that. You can only do it with two. Then specific ones maybe. I'd say it'd be.
I don't like a multiplayer where it's like a 16v16 goose fight, like
trying to get all the objectives before the other team.
Yeah.
Geese running around all over the place. What?
Or if one team was the locals and the other team was the geese, and
the locals have to try to stop the geese without
from taking the stuff.
It becomes like Plants vs Zombies, but it's like locals versus geese.
Yeah.
There's a T-shirt, wasn't there, for Goose Game?
There was what?
There was like a T-shirt. I think you suggested the Ash.
Oh yeah. It just has.
I have it.
Oh
yeah.
Yeah.
It says honk, but
Yeah,
actually it's a bad idea.
That one. It's like a poster, but it's like the goose, and it says honk on it.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I had suggested it for Ash actually because she was playing the Goose Game, and I was like, "This is great, crack." And then, you should get this T-shirt. You'd love it. And she was like, "I am not getting that T-shirt." I was like, "Why?" Oh yeah. If you put a honk across a woman's chest, it's otherwise suggestive. It's not the same as when you just put it on a man's chest. And it's like, oh, it's a reference to Doom.
Yeah.
What was the scariest gaming moment this year?
Well, come on, Eric. I mean, you definitely played some scary shit this year.
He doesn't get scared.
I suppose,
I don't get scared.
He just cries.
Yeah, I'm all scared out. Now I just cry.
You should get that as a tattoo. Only games can judge me. Written in like gangster.
I mean, like Nemesis is pretty kind of on edge, but then you can get used to him pretty quickly.
Yeah, well, you can maybe.
But then I suppose when I'm playing it like 5 times in a row in one day, yeah, you can get used to the guy pretty quickly.
Fucking hell! How long are your days?
Well, they're 24 hours, kind of like any other day.
But it's like time runs differently for you or something like.
Well, the game is so short, like it's really short game. And there's less to kind of, because in Resident Evil 2, if you want to unlock something, you actually have to do particular challenges.
That's right, yeah.
But in Resident Evil 3, they have like, you do a challenge, you get a certain amount of points, you spend that points on particular items.
Right.
And there was items in Resident Evil 3 that like could make you stronger or make you like recover health faster and all that sort of stuff. So it actually made the game somewhat easier.
Oh, okay.
to have those items. There was a gun in it called the Raiden, which was an electrically charged gun. If you just shoot enemies in their weak spot, they die instantly, and it was infinite ammo. That was
That's
pretty
kind of
handy.
ridiculous.
Yeah, there was some ridiculous weapons in it.
Yeah.
I mean, Nemesis, or I suppose Demon Souls being on edge a lot in Demon Souls.
Yeah.
I don't really think there's any other scary games to play this year.
Well, you, Adam.
Wondering
be
whether
both
or not,
games.
wondering whether or not I was going to get the PS5.
Oh.
I was
Oh,
really-
you went deep. He was like, "Oh, do you mean scariest gaming moment or scariest moment involving games?" That's what Adam did. He decided to break down the question.
well,
Oh,
it's
the
a
question was
multiple
scariest gaming moment. That's the question.
Yeah. Whether or not you're getting
That's
a
a
PS5.
gaming moment. Whether or not I was going to actually end up getting it or not, because it was unclear. I ordered through GameStop. It was very unclear as to whether or not even GameStop was getting stock at all. We heard kind of other vendors had to pretty much cancel everyone's pre-orders because they weren't getting them. And then it was okay. GameStop are getting them, but am I part of that launch, or am I in the like next year or whatever?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess so. That would have been there. There was nothing. I mean, apart from that, there's nothing kind of scary. Or
Okay.
maybe actually, maybe maybe a scary moment could be whether or not I was going to get COVID standing in line for the launch of Doom Eternal.
I was wondering whether to bring it up actually.
Well, didn't it like we just went into lockdown like that day?
Yeah.
We hadn't gone into lockdown yet. I don't think there was on the talks of lockdown.
Yeah.
I don't think we'd gone officially into lockdown, but it was a time for naming and shaming, I believe.
Yeah, like I remember going up to pick it up, and I thought it was going to be fairly similar to how we picked up the PlayStation that time.
Yeah.
You show up and you stand at the door and you say, "Here's my number," and you get the thing, and all of a sudden here's a big fucking queue for
Animal Crossing.
And I was
Yeah.
like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah. Well, there was no. At that point, there was
totally
no
forgot
queue
Animal
management.
Crossing. Well, I just
you know?
totally forgot that Animal Crossing was launched in the same day.
I know, but like,
And I actually went.
oh,
I
it's
actually
not
went the
me.
day before because they were giving out Doom Eternal. They were giving out Doom Eternal earlier.
All right. Yeah.
So I went the day before, but it turns out GameStop ended up closing earlier than normal, just due
That's
to
right.
lockdown.
Yeah.
So I ended up missing it. So then I decided, okay, I'll go down tomorrow morning, then the following morning, and here's a big ass queue for fucking. And there was people were not distancing. They really weren't.
No.
So that was, I guess that could. Well, it wasn't really scary, but it was just,
A little frustrating.
Yeah, well, it wasn't even frustrating either. It was just kind of, it was unexpected, really.
Yeah. But I suppose at that point, like, because like when I went down for the PS5, I'm sure you all had the same experience. It was very well organized. You had an allocated time.
Yeah.
You go.
Oh, I didn't.
Being more used to
did you
it.
not?
No, mine was because I asked them what time I was supposed to be there. I was coming out at any time
Oh, do you know why?
because I was later.
Lockdown lift.
Because the lockdown had lifted. They were open at
Ah.
that point. They weren't actually.
Yeah.
They were trying to give it to us while in lockdown.
And
But they handled it really well, I thought.
Pretty much everyone around me was going in for Cyberpunk 2077. I was like, I won't tell them. I'll let them just experience the fact that
I
the
mean,
game.
I'm sure everyone who's getting it is aware of the news that's coming around it as well. And
You'd be surprised how little people know about it.
But the question now is how many places are, because obviously some crowds are doing refunds, but I don't know if everyone is.
Sony has taken it off the PlayStation Store.
They have. Sony have taken it off the PlayStation Store, yeah.
CD Projekt
Xbox are about to do that as well.
The reason Sony have taken it off the PlayStation Store is because there's many ways you could take that, but the reason they're doing it is they cannot, because they only offer refunds on games if you haven't played it, the digital ones.
Yeah.
If you played even a minute of a game, you cannot get a refund. That is true, right?
Really?
Yeah. because
thought you could get a refund within a couple of hours.
I don't believe so. And so the only way they could actually refund this properly is if you can't kind of get it again. So they've just stopped selling it. And they're also going to put it back on when the fucking game is finished. You know what I mean?
I thought the take was that they were more likely to get more refunds for this particular game than any other game ever, and that the process of like the resource of putting people through, like taking people to get the refunds in place would take up so much manpower and hours on an unnecessary scale that it's easier to just not sell the thing.
I would say that's
another reason.
I would say there's probably many reasons to take it off altogether, but it is kind of interesting because that didn't happen with Avengers, which was also.
Avengers is not a broken game though. Avengers is just not a good game.
But but I mean, Avengers had glitches and crashes galore.
No, not really.
Captain America's face. Did you ever see that?
Yeah, but I think that was
eyes are sticking out like a fucking one of those Pikachu's.
Yeah, but it's not every. Yeah, but like I mean that's like Assassin's Creed. Those type of glitches are.
Yeah, no, I think
few and far between. Like they're not as common. Cyberpunk is genuinely a broken game. It's not.
Yeah, because I think I seen someone. They went like what it just started on YouTube, like what it's like to play Cyberpunk 2077, and it was just the opening. So the guy was on the train doing his narration, everything looks fine, he's coming out of a tunnel, and then when he comes out of the city is not there, there's no landscape, there's just a few like little like beams and like the makings of structures of buildings, like the top of towers or something.
Yeah. And
then it just starts like really like going like jittery, slow, and then the name comes up, and then it just crashes. Just crashes like that's it.
Fucking hell.
But then I've seen other people play it, and it's running fine.
Not that I want to go on about this because I suppose we're doing 2020 highlights, but isn't it like?
I mean, it's a pretty big highlight at the moment.
Yeah, but that game went certified gold ages ago.
Yeah.
So what the fuck happened there? Like they straight up fucking lied.
Well, the devs at CD Projekt Red are furious with.
I know that. I've seen that. Yeah, they've written letters of complaints to their bosses.
Yeah.
They're like, if this game wasn't finished, why did you release it?
Yeah.
It's like fucking hell. I've never seen anything like it.
Neither have I actually. I think the closest thing I can kind of remember is possibly Arkham Knight on PC. That was broken as hell, but it didn't take long for them to patch it for the PC, and that wasn't as big of a player base.
And it was only the PC.
Yeah. This is the opposite. It's fine on PC. There are a few glitches, but it's playable on PC. It's a PC game. Unplayable on console, like completely, because I've seen people like even that sections are working fine in terms of like it's loading and stuff, but the resolution looks like a potato, and the frame rate
from the Harry Potter PS1 game.
Yeah, and the frame rate is like 14 frames. So apart from that just being an unenjoyable experience, when they try to input on the controller, that's not translating in time, so it's like as if there's like a huge lag between player input and player. So there was a guy trying to drive down an alleyway and he accidentally ran over a lot of people, which caused like kind of a huge riot, and then the police to come along, and he was in a serious firefight that he could not win because he couldn't control the thing, and then he died. And he got frustrated and left the game. So
we're all looking forward to it. They'll fix it eventually, I'm sure.
Oh, absolutely. Like I think
in about a year's time it'll be.
I mean, they're releasing a PS5 one next year, and that
I genuinely do think it's going to be like a April release by the time there's actually a fix for it, though.
Yeah.
I mean, well, like they're gone into the holidays now. Like they can't be expected to fucking work now. Like.
No,
and then so there has to be, and then when they come back, they're gonna have to look at all the things that aren't working, and
fix it then.
It's not just a couple of things, is it?
There was one lad in work was saying is like they should have just postponed it. I was like, they couldn't postpone it. They were getting death threats.
Yeah,
but
and they've already postponed it twice, isn't it?
Yeah,
and
but
it was taking years as well.
yeah, but like this
Yeah,
is,
like
this is probably worse than if they had if they had just postponed it again.
Well, it could be
Because
now
they could always have put it down to, right, regardless
COVID.
of what was actually going on in there, they could always have put it down to COVID. It's out of our hands. We're very sorry. COVID
I
has
think,
genuinely
yeah.
affected us finishing the game.
I think the reason though that they got like, because there's many studios obviously that had to postpone their game, especially this year.
Of course.
Well, I think the reason like people were not as patient with CD Projekt Red is because the game was announced in 2012.
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't even
Like,
realize it.
Like I remember seeing the trailer for it, going, "Wow, yeah, I'm excited for this as a concept. This seems like it could be a cool game."
Yeah.
But it's like that game took so like unnecessarily long to make to be able to experience those types of game-breaking bugs. Like they should not be in it. They should have been cleared ages ago. Like what
that's what I'm saying.
What were they doing?
They certified it gold in November. How?
I feel like this game should have been finished 3 years ago.
Yeah.
That's
don't
what I
know
mean.
what's-
Like
don't know
it
what's-
shouldn't have
what's
taken
going
that long. Like Kojima managed to get a studio up and running and a game out in 3 years.
on. Yeah. I don't know. They were waiting for
Like-
Keanu Reeves to get on board. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't-
But everything they demonstrated, everything they showed off was always PC footage. They never showed console. So they shouldn't have released it on console, realistically. It should be just a PC game.
Yeah. Well, speaking of other scary moments, other than Cyberpunk and waiting in line to get Doom, Resi 2 was obviously a big one for me earlier in the year. But I gotta say, I think the scariest gaming moment for me this year was the lower floor in the hospital in The Last of Us Part 2.
Oh yeah, that was fucking terrifying.
Yeah. That
was
was
fucking terrifying.
That was
I was
worse.
thinking, I was
That
like,
was worse
I
than
didn't
that.
play any scary games.
Like
but
it's
yeah.
like not only like even the lead up to it, just they built up that hospital floor, and I was like, I'm already dreading going down there. I don't want to go down there for anything. I'm fine. It's okay. I don't need to do it. And then you go down there and you're like, it's all like there was clickers down there and stuff, but it was already dark and scary. There's blood everywhere, and you're like, oh fuck me. But then just seeing that big fucking mountain of fungus and I was like, do I have to go through there? I'm not going through there. It's like, oh thank God I don't gotta go through there. And then I saw the other door, which I believe I screenshotted and shared at one point with all the blood lines. And I went, nope, no, it's
Yeah,
bedtime.
I completely forgot
It's
about that game
bedtime.
actually. There's a couple of
That-
moments,
that-
like
that was actually
even the
scarier than
hotel.
Nemesis.
The hotel.
hotel
The
was pretty
hotel as
good,
well.
yeah.
Descending the hotel was fucking really like that second you get the mask, you go, oh, okay, thank God it's over. You turn around and the stalker goes by and you go, oh, it's all maybe gone.
Yeah, and even isn't it the convention center with the stalkers?
Yeah, fucking hell. They were so
Jeez.
good though. Like I enjoyed
Terrible.
it as
Yeah.
well, but I was like,
Yeah, I
This
forgot
is-
about
this is really scary. I'm like really stressed. Play this. I did try to fight that thing, but actually, as soon as you beat the Rat King, and the fucking stalker breaks off it,
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
and like it jump scares you in the vent and everything, like oh fuck me. I screamed out loud, and it was like 1:00 in the morning. It scared the shit out. So I'm gonna say that those moments in
Yeah,
The
that's a
Last of
scary
Us
moment.
were my scariest gaming moments this year.
I have to say, even on replay, the Rat King not so much, but the more kind of unpredictable sections, such as the hotel and the convention center, they're still kind of on. You're still on edge replaying it. You know,
Yeah,
they,
Oh,
they
big
did a
time.
good. They did a good job with the fucking horror in that game.
yeah, no, they really did. I thought they amped it up really well.
Yeah.
Who was your favorite video game character this year? Either playable or non-playable.
Hmm.
I think it was good. There was a good lot of
Yeah.
good characters this year.
Yeah.
You mean like new, fresh to the scene, or
No. Doesn't even have to be new or fresh, or to the scene.
Doesn't even have to be my question.
Does that you know? Say whatever you want to say. Go talk about Cyberpunk for another 20 minutes. You know.
Adam's like Gandalf or something. You know, Bilbo goes good mornings. What do you mean good morning? Do you mean this is a morning?
Good morning or a morning to be good on? Or that I should?
Or do you think I should be fine on this good morning?
Or do you mean this is a good morning whether I want it to be or not? That's what you're like. Every question you got to break down.
Yeah. It's like, what's your favorite moment this year? Now, when
It's
you
only
say moment, do you
It's
mean
only 'cause, like, there's just so many, you know? I thought I really liked what they did with Doomslayer. I really liked what they did with Tifa. I really liked what they did with.
I'm going to go with pretty much all the characters from Final Fantasy 7.
Yeah, they're good.
They were all just so good.
Jin is a great character.
Yeah.
Great addition to the Sony
Sony World
family.
I mean, I'm pretty sure I only experienced Horizon Zero Dawn this year.
Did you?
Oh yeah, you only played it. Yeah, because it was after we
played the whole
talked
thing this
about
year,
the
so-
ending and stuff, and you went, okay, now I want to play it.
Yeah, and then I cried at the end.
What's new?
So,
What's new?
so Aloy would be up there with me as well. As an absolutely
Character this year. Yeah.
phenomenal character.
Yeah.
For me this year, all the characters from 5 to 7, Jin and Taka, and all the characters from Ghost of Tsushima.
Yeah, all of them.
All of this,
Like,
every
my
character.
favorite is
all
of them.
My favorite is gaming.
I'm gonna throw out I'll throw out a few.
Okay.
Cloud and Tifa in particular from 7 Remake.
Mhm.
Lev from The Last of Us Part 2.
Very good.
Sensei Ishikawa from Ghost of Tsushima.
Yeah, it's
Fucking love him. Like, I love Jin as well, don't get me wrong, but I in some ways Jin was a little bit of a blank slate, which is good because I was the player, like I was like the player character. Like, he did have a great arc, but I just loved spending time with some of those other characters in Ghost of Tsushima. I think so, and even Yuna, I think the more you get to know her, she's a very interesting character. But Sensei Ishikawa is just the stuff that he'd come out with, like, and even like, you do a mission together or something, and you like question him, and he was like, Jin, you're a good man, but don't you ever question me again. Shit like that. I'm like, that's fucking cool. Like, that's like a movie moment. Like, there's a bit of tension between the two of us, which is great because he's an archer and bows have tension, and it's thematic. Like Cloud has a Buster sword. That's thematic because listen here, Buster.
I think I'm gonna go with Astrobot.
Fuck yeah, man.
Because like after playing that, I'm just like, I want another fucking series with this guy. Like I think Sony could seriously do. I think I said it before, like a Lego style platformer using Astrobot, where you go around and you would find all the different references to different games, and those would be unlockable kind of outfits that you could wear for your Astrobot.
Yeah, like a bandana and stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah. But it's such a good platformer. I really wanted more of it.
Yeah, I think they will do more of it. I think Astrobot is going to continue on as a character, to be honest.
Kind of be their PlayStation icon.
Eventually, I think so.
There's just such a it's so Mario,
Yeah.
and in a way that doesn't feel like a blatant ripoff. There's enough originality in there, and
Let's say.
you're right there.
There's a great gaming moment.
What?
Sephiroth pinning Mario.
Oh,
It is
fuck
a good
yeah.
moment.
What a cool fucking image.
That
Yeah.
was- Oh, so
Yeah,
good.
that was amazing. Actually, on that one, what was your favorite gaming announcement this year? Whether it was something that came this year or something that's going to come.
Fill the dead silence with some thinking sound.
Put in the countdown music. Okay, so my answer is
Nesunda.
I'll have another vowel, please. The consonant. Oh, we should do the Brothers Take Play countdown.
We should.
Great. Not all about video games, lads.
I mean, Countdown is a game. And favorite
What's
gaming.
your favorite game show?
Eventually, when we have nothing else to talk about, we just do that. That'd be fucking. It's like, how could we spend an hour and a half dragging this out? That's fucking great.
Sorry, what was the question?
Yeah, hold on. Yeah, can you repeat the question? Okay, can I have that Who Wants to Be a Millionaire music, please? Yeah, it's Chris Tarrant here. What was your favorite gaming announcement? And yes, you can phone a friend.
Probably for me, just going from the Game Awards, probably Mass Effect.
Oh yeah. The Legendary Edition.
Yeah. Oh, that, and I know nothing about it, and it looks way too good to be true, and it's probably going to be broken as fuck, and probably not what they showed originally. But Crimson Desert looked class.
Yeah.
So for something I have no idea anything about and didn't know that was being like released or anything, Crimson Desert looked really good. Oh yeah, God of War Ragnarok is another one. All of them, Chris. All of the announcements. All right. That's what I'm saying. 2020 was a good year for gaming. It's a bad year for everything else. Because even have Horizon Zero Dawn 2, the Rise of the Robots or whatever it's called. That's gonna be cool.
The Dark of the Dark Moon Rises.
Yeah. Rise of the Horizon Zero Dawn War Dawn planet. of the machines.
Those are great movies. What a ridiculous title for movies like Rise of the Planet of the planet itself is not rising. That is not what the film is. Why wouldn't you just as a precursor to Planet of the Apes call it Rise of the Apes?
Oh, and then Dawn, which is the same thing as
weird. Rise of. If we don't put Planet of the Apes in there, no one will know what this franchise is. It's like they will. They'll watch it and they'll hear phrases like "Get your stinking paws off me, you damn dirty ape."
Honestly, should have been called because they always have to have the Planet of the Apes, don't they? Because of the original films.
Yeah.
The way it's called, they should have called Genesis of the Planet of the Apes then. Because Genesis, that makes more sense, I think. It being
the Apes, Dawn of the Apes, War of the Apes. That would have been a great.
It has to have the Planet of the Apes in there.
It doesn't,
because of the original movies.
That's ridiculous. It doesn't. It really does.
Also, the second one should be War of the Apes because the apes go to war, really, and that one they don't really go to war in the third one.
No, but it's the war of the Planet of the Apes.
Yeah, so therefore that one makes more sense. What you're saying?
No, it doesn't.
War. Yes, war. No, it's war.
No,
it's war for the Planet of the Apes, not war of the Planet of the Apes.
Yeah, war for the Planet of the Apes.
Yeah. Makes sense. Awesome, man. What are you talking about?
So anyway, my favorite announcement was probably Black Myth.
Which one?
What?
Remember the one about the
Oh yeah. The Monkey King.
Yeah.
Oh, geez,
that looks.
I forgot about
That looks crazy. That looked crazy.
That was super.
I thought that one looked pretty cool. Definitely keep an eye out on that one.
Yeah,
The Crimson Desert though. The Crimson Desert did look
fantastic.
badass.
The Monkey King was always kind of like this silly, goofy, crappy character, and that looks like they're gonna make him badass.
Yeah. No, it looked fucking awesome.
Yeah, it looks like their take on God of War kind of thing.
Yeah.
I think the PS5 reveal was an awesome announcement earlier this year, and I remember when that happened, I was like, wow, it's just the way they presented it was fucking cool. Wow. God of War sequel, just goosebumps. The second,
I love the way that's the only time that copped you was that Omega symbol as the kind of not Omega, but the Ouroboros symbol.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, because I picked up then my one. I went,
it's on the cover.
Oh yeah, that is. That's clever.
Because that was in the 2018 announcement as well.
That's fucking clever. But yeah, just the logo and the speaking and the music, and it was like, yep, I'm in.
that black screen is the best black screen I've ever seen.
And again, for me, Gotham Knights excited me. I'm excited about it.
Okay.
But I don't have high hopes for it. But I'm
excited for your excitement.
Thanks, bro.
Yeah.
Thanks, bro.
But I don't care for the game.
So then, other than gaming, then I'm curious to see, do we have any? Because I feel like gaming was strong this year.
Yeah.
Despite COVID, and lots of studios did a lot of amazing things to overcome. They even had to delay at points, or some even Square Enix shipped 7 Remake early to ensure people got it. That kind of thing. They worked around the problems of COVID. Some other industries, unfortunately, suffered as to the COVID and weren't able to work around that because they weren't delivering something for you to take home. They were delivering something that you usually So cinema, for example, music concerts, that kind of thing. Like there was no working around that. You know, concerts were able to do some streaming stuff and that kind of thing, but there wasn't lots and lots of different ways to work around it. But were there any other 20 highlights for you guys in terms of movies, TV shows, music?
More thinking sounds.
Dim, 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 dim.
I don't know. I quite liked the announcement, like the DC World thing, the DC fandom.
That's cool.
I really liked that, but I'm also kind of fearful of the prospects of everything. Like I was really excited for I liked the Justice League trailer. I thought it was really, really well done, really well put together. I've watched it multiple times.
Same.
I think it's a really good trailer.
Yeah.
But I'm fearful of what that means for the kind of, not just for that film, but the
future cinema.
Future of, because the being just done on HBO Max and stuff. And
did you guys see? Sorry, did you see Christopher Nolan's tweet?
Yes. Yeah. Some
a while back.
Serious tweet.
Oh my god.
What was this tweet? I don't think I seen it.
Well, Christopher Nolan did the biggest mic drop in fucking behind the scenes cinema history, I'd say. So, you know the way obviously Warner Brothers announced that all their movies slated for next year are going on HBO Max.
In America, in countries that can't open,
they're going to cinema as well.
Yeah.
But they're going to be dropped on HBO Max.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
Okay. So Nolan the next day put out a tweet. Adam, you're getting up the tweet, are you? Just because I only
see if I can find it, so I can read it out.
Yeah, just so it's not just the gist of it; it's his exact words. But
okay, yeah, because he was adamant on releasing Tenet. Yeah,
and Christopher Nolan obviously makes all of his movies with Warner Brothers.
Yeah.
So.
Now, see, the thing that is getting me worried because I watched the.
Here we go. Here we go. Some of our industry's biggest filmmakers and most important movie stars went to bed the night before thinking they were working for the greatest movie studio and woke up to find out that they were working for the worst streaming service.
I wonder did he get any phone calls? But then some people then there was people who commented on like the John Campea show and stuff. Like John Campea was talking about how he was like, look, I'm sure that Warner Brothers got in contact with all of the directors and all before they made this announcement. Turns out no, they didn't, and many of them found out the same way we all found out. And your man Dennis, what's his surname? I can't pronounce it. The guy who directed
Dune, yeah,
right,
yeah,
is now trying to sue Warner Brothers. Because he does not agree with this decision at all. And he said, you have effectively killed the Dune franchise. Because I don't think I would make another one.
What's interesting is that there's way more people in disagreement with them than there is in supporting them.
That's bullshit.
There's more people saying that, Nolan's a bit kind of uppity about the whole thing and he just needs to move on kind of thing, and it's like
they don't know. That's not.
No, it's definitely not true. Like he has an absolute point. Like
if you believe that, then you should just axe concerts.
But there's like the people that are in disagreement have access to HBO Max, right? And that's America. We don't have that.
No. Yeah, we don't have it.
So when he says worst streaming service, it doesn't necessarily mean worse in the amount of content, worse in the way it is distributed, worse in the amount of like the quality of the stream or anything like that.
Yeah.
It has no global access. Zero global access. It's US only. Maybe UK. I don't know.
Yeah.
But it's not worldwide.
No,
Netflix is worldwide. Amazon Prime's worldwide.
Are coming to the cinema as well, right?
Yeah.
But I suppose their point is, if you are in America and you have the choice, you might just watch on the HBO Max. As a result, eventually, you could kill the theaters in America, which is a huge part of Hollywood.
Because Disney is going to probably start just releasing everything on Disney Plus, because that way they then get 100% of the profits.
Because I also saw that some cinemas are talking about cutting the price of cinema tickets for Warner Brothers movies in half. Just say, right, fuck you, so we're keeping it all, and Warner Brothers won't get money for the cinema tickets.
How can they do that though? They
I
have
don't
to
know
rent
that.
the movies.
I just saw I don't know how they would get away with it, but I saw that they want to do something to show that they don't like this decision at all. And it's probably only the American
unless the cinema subscribes
to HBO Max and just streams that.
plays it onto a fucking projector. That would be the only way they could get away with that.
And maybe they would. I don't know. But can they do that? Can they charge you to come watch a stream?
Why not?
I don't know.
It's like if they reduce the cost of the ticket and are only charging you to basically use the venue.
Yeah.
Like why not? Right?
I don't know. Eric, anything
against that?
I would imagine Warner Brothers could kind of go, hold on a second, you can't do that. You're making a profit off our film.
You can't have your cake and also have my cake.
Yeah, exactly. Like unless they did it out of like a charity thing, then Warner Brothers probably can't do that because now they look like even bigger dickheads because they're trying to sue cinemas for wanting to do a charitable thing.
I think it's been an awful year for Warner Brothers. I think they've looked like arseholes left, right, and center this year.
Yeah.
On loads of things. The Johnny Depp thing. There's been loads
for a long time, though, I think.
No, but like, there's just been loads of shit that's happened this year in particular, where even like you have, someone like Nolan, who's one of Warner Brothers, trusted partners, I would have thought, is criticizing now the studio that he always works with.
Yeah.
It's not good. It's not a good thing.
And he referred to it as one of the greatest companies.
Yeah. And like, they have made fantastic movies, and they had a great slate of movies for this year. They have a great slate of movies for next year. It would be a terrible shame if the future of this is that cinemas will be gone. I don't want that. I don't know if anyone wants that, really. Even if they do go, I don't know, sure, I like streaming at home.
I think it has always been inevitable. I've always thought it would happen. It's just weird to see it happen so soon, but I've always thought that cinema would go the way of theater.
Just become a very niche thing.
Yeah, like it exists. Like theater exists.
Yeah,
there's not a theater in every town, that doesn't exist.
Yeah.
And I think cinemas could be that. There could be like you have to literally travel to go see like an event in the cinema essentially, and that it would be a very artsy movie. You're not going to get the next Marvel film in cinema. It's going to be all
That's scary,
home.
Man. I don't like that.
At home on your listening through your
See, another thing that's annoying me now, because at the moment, because things are still being released in cinema, like Dune and stuff like that, and the Batman and everything, I'm pretty happy. Is Zack Snyder's Justice League only going to be HBO Max?
Yeah, for the moment.
Yeah.
But he did say that he wants to do a DVD release, though.
Okay, that's fine. That's
how
fine.
we would get it.
I don't know if I would go see Justice League in a cinema personally anyway, because it's a 4-part series.
Actually, I just saw an article yesterday, at the time of recording, that's different. But anyway, and it said that it may now be a 4-hour movie instead of a miniseries.
They don't know what they're doing.
They haven't
a clue.
This is supposed to be 2020 fucking highlights, lads.
This is a highlight of 2020.
But no, are there any movies, TV shows, or music that were highlights for you guys before we
music-wise? Yes.
Yeah.
Good music this year, I think.
Yeah, there's Final Fantasy 7 remake soundtrack. That was pretty good.
Soundtrack. Yeah, that was good.
Yeah.
Well, we can only speak for the metal scene. That was pretty good shit this year for metal.
Yeah.
But I don't know about movie-wise. I can't really recall a film that I saw this year that I thought was great.
No, it's by default. It's like the best new movie I saw this year was probably Tenet, but it's the only new movie I saw this year. I've yet to see Wonder Woman, which I'm looking forward to seeing because I just want to see a big movie on a cinema screen, to be honest. Sure. But I've yet to comment whether that's good or not. I don't know, but yeah. So I would say movies and TV shows for me, not so good this year.
No.
But it's not their fault, really.
No, I mean, like, because we're talking about.
There was going to be, like, I was looking so forward to fucking James Bond, and like there was going to be some great movies this year. It's just unfortunate what happened.
suppose like if we're talking about music, video games, or soundtracks, whatever. What was the question again? Movies, TV shows, and music announcements. The Batman announcement.
Well, the Batman
I
trailer.
didn't see it, but like the announcement of that, like what did come out this year
The
was an
Batman
incredible
trailer is one of the best things. In terms of anything movie related, that's the best thing I've seen this year. That was
Yeah,
fucking
Definitely,
crap.
yeah.
I've rewatched that so many.
then-
I'm wearing the Batman T-shirt underneath this jumper at the moment. It was
And
amazing.
then I've seen scenes from The Mandalorian season 2.
Oh yeah,
That's
people
supposed to be great.
are
Which-
talking about that with great praise.
Honestly, season 2 looks, because I only watched the first episode of season 1. I thought this episode looks a bit boring and it looks like it can't really go anywhere. Season 2 looks class, but it also only really looks as a negative twist. Like, it looks amazing. Like all the effects and everything that they've done, the fact that they've like holographically made all their sets as well.
Yeah, that's
And
incredible.
some of the acting in it. Bill Burr, do you know Bill Burr, the American comedian?
Yes, yeah.
He's in it, and I've seen one scene with him, and it's a fantastic. He doesn't say anything, but his facial expression is amazing. It's so good. But season 2 also looks like it's only good because of fan service. If you know what I mean.
There's a place
Maybe,
for that,
yeah,
though.
maybe.
Like as in it kind of.
it's
that
unfortunately been
spice
very
that
spoiled
spices
on
up.
me.
Yes.
It hasn't been
Hugely.
spoiled on me.
Okay, well, watch
I
it.
know
If you're
nothing.
interested in watching it, watch it before it does, because it's getting spoiled left, right, and center all over social media.
I know of one thing of it, but I wouldn't consider it a spoiler as such because I think it's just so fucking obvious. But
Yeah.
I just heard that it ties greater into Star Wars more so than the first season. I think I can't remember how many episodes are in season 1. I think I only watched maybe half of it, and I didn't see the appeal of the Mandalorian.
Yeah.
But now I'm thinking maybe I will continue because
Yeah, I've
that
heard
second
too many
season
good things
sounds
about
like it's
season
good.
two, so
yeah.
Yeah. It
I'd
looks
like to- yeah, watch it
acting
over
wise,
Christmas.
visual effects does look actually better.
Yeah.
And it looks like they delve a little bit more into the Star Wars lore and stuff like that of different people.
Yeah.
Stuff which seems interesting.
So no, not really any movie or TV highlights from me, apart from that Batman trailer and some of the other trailers of announces. There's stuff next year that I'm looking forward to that I hope happens, and the following year.
Mhm.
Music was pretty good. Music
Yeah.
was pretty good this year. Not great. I always have a playlist that I make every year of the stuff that comes out that year that I'm really gravitating towards. My playlist this year was much smaller than the last couple of years, but there was some really good stuff in that. You know, the Trivium album was one that I really, really enjoyed. The new Bring Me the Horizon record is something that I really, really enjoyed. Mick Gordon did the producing on that, so if you're into game soundtrack, I think give it a go. There's the first track on it is reference to Resident Evil. And nearly every track on it is a reference to some video game at some point, and it's called Survival Horror. So it's based around the PS1 era survival horror games. But it's fucking good
I
crack.
can't wait to open up the behind you there, Hybrid Theory Collector's Edition. That's
You haven't opened
currently-
it?
No, Pagan it's actually Pagan's, not mine.
Oh,
She
okay,
ordered
okay.
it. She wrapped it for herself under the tree.
Taking a page out of my book, is she?
That's a good idea. No, it's amazing. It is actually amazing. And that's another highlight this year was the Linkin Park Hybrid Theory 20th anniversary edition. It's so good. If you've been a Linkin Park fan, that's incredible. The fucking shit that's in it is amazing, and it's so well presented to you as well. Like, it's just so cool. But I think we're definitely we're coming to the end of this episode, and therefore the end of
The end
another
of the
year.
year.
End of the year.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'd like to, just before we finish up, one more 2020 highlight.
Yes.
What was your favorite? No, but honestly, what was your favorite podcast episode that we did this year? Maybe not the whole episode, but was there a topic that we covered this year where you're like, I really liked to do that one?
They're so I kind of forget some of the stuff that we end up covering sometimes.
Yeah.
Um,
They mesh
kind of-
together in a
they
way.
kind of become one.
Yeah.
Well, when it comes to
I've always kind of enjoyed every episode. I've never really.
yeah,
Oh.
feedback wise, and like I did enjoy them. The one with the 50 questions or the gaming questions.
Oh,
seemed to
yeah,
have
yeah.
gotten good feedback, and that was a good interesting one. The hours one I got feedback about the one about the amount of hours spent on the games, which was
That one was good. That one was good.
hilarious. Hilarious
Yeah.
to talk about. They're all. I mean, Final Fantasy X, just because I got that one quote in there was awesome. You know,
Yeah.
that one description was like, I feel like I've done English now. Like
Is that
there's
the
my
one where you
English
were like a
degree.
beautiful world juxtaposed by
Yeah.
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 Yeah. Something like that. Yeah, it was
Spot
amazing.
on.
I really enjoyed the 50 questions one as well. It's not one that many people I know I think responded to very well, but I really enjoyed the layout of that because none of us really knew what the other person was going to say on it. It wasn't something like I enjoy like when we talk about The Last of Us and Ghost of Tsushima and all, but we kind of talk about that outside of the podcast as well. And so in a way, you kind of know what's going to come up or how people already feel about it. Whereas those ones, or like the one, when we found out how much fucking time you've spent playing games, like Jesus Christ. And I also really enjoyed.
Noob,
I really enjoyed 7 Remake when we got to talk about some of the theories. I enjoyed that.
You see, I'm not a theory person. So
I love speculation.
Yeah, I love theorizing.
Yeah.
It was kind of fun having the guests on, actually.
Next
time we've done that. Wasn't it Brian, Danny, and Michael?
And Howland.
Yeah.
So thank you, all you guys who came on this year and who have listened.
Yeah.
And also, I think it would be great to not only get these guys on again in the new year at some point, but if we can get a few more people too. There's a few that I have in mind. There's a few guys that I've talked to that I think would be really interested in coming on. It's about finding the right topic too, where it's like this is like the definite
Topic and time
for them. Topic and time. But we should definitely do that. But listen, if you have listened to us this year, thank you so much for showing us support in our first year of doing this. We've learned a lot, and we're still learning as we go along on better ways of doing this. We are going to take a very small, short hiatus for the holidays, and then come back to this in the new year. It won't feel like a long, like at the time we record in advance, it won't really feel like a long time, I think, for the listener when we come back. Like, it will still be in January, but just to make you aware, there might be 2 weeks, say, without an episode or without something from us, but there'll probably still be a post put up on the Facebook or on social media, so keep an eye on the social media. But thank you so much for listening this year. If you've enjoyed us and you're watching us on YouTube, please give this a thumbs up, hit subscribe, and jump into the comment section. You can let us know if you've been following us along what your favorite podcast episode was, any topics you'd like us to cover in the new year, and anything that we talked about in this episode, if there's something that you'd like to add to in terms of your own 2020 highlights. And if you're listening to us on audio platforms, same deal. You can get in touch on social media, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at The Brothers Take. Let us know your 2020 highlights. We'd like to wish everyone a much better new year than 2020. And we'll see you all in January 21. Thank you, everyone, and take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.